गुट भी सकती है।
थैंक यू माननीय तिरुचि शिवाजी, माननीय तिरुचि शिवाजी, प्लीज you must give in writing. First, take your seat, please.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, again, I stand here to oppose a bill that has been introduced and has been brought up for consideration with much pain and agony. Sir, we all know very well that even at the introduction point, all the opposition parties opposed the introduction of the bill itself, for it negates the landmark judgment of the Supreme Court. And it also raises a question of separation of powers. So this bill is about the CAPF, the Central Armed Police Force, which constitutes of Central Reserve Police, CPRF, CRPF, BSF, Indian Tibet Border Police and Armed Border Forces and CISF. Around 13 lakh personnel are working in it, and 15 lakh have already been retired. And so, sir, I would like to very humbly present before this House, in the past 3 years, 438 personnel have died by committing suicide. And in the past 3 years, 50,000 have resigned their jobs from the CAPF. What's the reason for that? It's because of the stress they have, overloading work, slow promotion, and their families from little to no benefit at all, and very little access to financial benefits. Sir, they had resorted to many other things. Sir, very painful. CAPF is not an ordered thing. They take care of the parliament. They take care of the airport. They protect our border. The sovereignty of the nation is depending. The Home Minister is not here. We consider this as a very important bill because lakhs of these CAPF personnel are looking at the parliament, what the parliament is going to do. We have to take into consideration the feelings and sentiments of those for whom you are enacting a law. Sir, in the year 2018, the Estimates Committee has observed that the structural issues in the CAPF has to be immediately resolved, and deputation of IPS officers in the CAPF should be stopped, and moreover, the Home Ministry has to do immediately. Sir, the Home Ministry is in charge of the security of the nation, and it is only through the CAPF. We cannot take it. They fight against the terrorism, they fight against the extremism, they fight against the Naxalism. See, they work night and day. There are long postings. We cannot imagine the hard days and works they under. But why they are being treated like that? So the Estimates Committee observed and recommended certain things to the ministry which it was ignored. And in 2019, the first Union Cabinet, after the Union Cabinet, the Prime Minister himself has announced through a press note that the anomaly in the CAPF cadre structures will be addressed, and whatever the Supreme Court has already guided will be followed by the government. It was not followed. Later, the CAPF people approached the Supreme Court. That was in May 2025. And the Supreme Court very clearly gave a judgment that slowly, within 2 years, it has directed or it has asked the Home Ministry to slowly phase out the deputation of IPS officers in the CAPF and enable their own officers to be in that rank. And the Union government surprisingly went for a review petition. Why, we do not know. Sir, the Prime Minister is pricing. You remember, ma'am, very well, in the Maharashtra elections in 2015 or 19, he came and said that you are to first vote for those martyrs of Pulwama. Who can forget that? The whole nation was crying. The whole world was watching. A few thousands of soldiers, when they have to move from one place to another, the then constitutional head of the JNK himself has said that When some aircrafts were asked to airlift these soldiers, it was negated, it was not permitted by the Home Ministry, and they had to take the road journey, and only during the road journey, 40 CAPF soldiers have been killed. And you are asking votes by way of their death, but they are not compensating them. You are not respecting them. You go and ask the people, your first vote must be for the Pulwama martyrs. You are asking votes, but when the parliament is in your hand, the government is in your hand, when you have to enact a law, the case between the Bar Council of Madras and Union government in the Supreme Court in 2021 to 25 has very clearly said the parliament has, of course, we also admit that, has got a legislative competence, but it should not overrule or override a Supreme Court judgment without addressing the defects that has been pointed out by the Supreme Court. So you have not addressed the defects. If you have brought a bill instead of the Supreme Court judgment that the bill and then to be a law will address the issues of those people, we would appreciate, we would also welcome. But you are totally again reaffirming. Clause 3(1) of this bill says that the IPS deputation is a must and they are insisting upon that. What is the reason for that? Are they less competent? I would like to know from the Home Ministry, from this government. Are the CAPF officers are incompetent to lead their own team? The team is behind them. Even as my colleague pointed out, which was not allowed, for the election also they are there. For a fair and free elections, to ensure peace and security in the nation, only CAPF are deputed. And the parliament, which had it has its own security force, now it is out, and now the CAPF is here. When the parliament went under the executive control, it's a very big question, which I don't want to discuss now. It's a question to be discussed later. The parliament, which is supreme and has a sovereign powers, which has it has own designated security force, has been totally wiped out, and now the Home Ministry is, CAPF under the Home Ministry is taking control of the Parliament. Sir, only the executive, the government is accountable to the Parliament, not the Parliament is accountable to the government. Now the Parliament security is under a ministry in the government. These things are happening. Leave it. I say they are taking care of the Parliament, the airports, the border. Where they are? What about their families? But you are again and again repeatedly. See, the review petition, again filed by the government against the May 2025 judgment, has been dismissed by the Supreme Court. And now this bill is coming to negate that judgment, because otherwise that judgment will stand. So that judgment also ensured that the CAPF officers must be only given priority. But whereas you are again re-emphasizing that the IPS officers must be deputed. Kindly enlighten us. What is the reason behind it? Will it not weaken the morale of those officers in there? I told at the very beginning itself, how many have committed suicide? How many have resigned? If they get frustrated, the leadership, what will about the soldiers who are following them? I don't want to explain in detail what will be the consequences, negative consequences. I am a responsible person and to a member of parliament, I have to speak with some responsibility. You yourself can imagine a very big force being led by some officers, if they are being ignored, neglected and insulted, and instead in their place someone comes. Ma'am, these officers in the CAPF, if they have to get the first promotion, they have to work for at least 15 to 18 years. Whereas their counterparts in IPS, within that time, they get 4 to 5 promotions. Imagine anybody in any place not recognized for the service, for their patriotism, for they lay down their lives, their families are suffering without any benefit, pensions are not being given. I said 11 lakh, 13 lakh are the personnel, so many have retired, and the dependent family are come to about 1 crore. So 1 crore population is looking at the parliament now what this bill is going to bring about. But this bill again are taking them to Again, I say, though the Home Minister is not here, the MO is here, the Leader of the House is here, or the officers will be listening, they should explain to the House why this deputation of IPS officers is a must in the CAPF. My simple question is whether they are not competent. Don't say that. Don't say that for any reason, that they are not competent. Otherwise, how many terrorism attacks have been handled by them? Even now we are living safe. We walk safe and secure only because of those forces. We sleep at night because of the police. The border is safe. No encouragement, no anything, no trespass, no terrorism, infiltration. All because of these forces. I appeal to the government. Have some mercy. Have some consideration. Have some humanitarian approach towards anybody, maybe in the country. See, this is not something new with this government. They always override the Supreme Court judgment. I can cite too many. The Tribunals Act 2021, the Chief Election Commissioner's appointment in 2025, and then the National Capital Territory of Delhi, they just negated the judgment of the Supreme Court. And this is yet another thing. What are going to... Power is not permanently with one party or with one side. Kindly keep it in mind. This is democracy. The wheel of democracy will rotate, and those on the top will come down, and those in the down will may go up. Will go up, not may go up, will go up. So all these things which are done against the federalism, against the secularism, against the Supreme Court, against its own power, will actually or naturally will be turned down, and new laws will be enacted when we will be there on the side. Those who are agreed can take these words. It is not just an assurance. I am talking with pain. Whenever we speak here, we are not speaking on behalf of a political party only. We are speaking for the people's sake. And you are also here. Your laws, whatever you bring in, whatever you discuss, anything you say must be for the benefit of those people. And second thing, sir, ma'am, they are out of the DOPT, the Department of Personnel Training, which ensures fairness in everything. Why this CAPF must be kept under DOPT? And it goes under the Home Ministry. When it goes under the executive control, they lose many things which are very, very genuine to them. There are many things. I am really pained at. It infringes the fundamental rights. Article 14 and 15, equality and equal opportunity in employment, whereas they are not given. So may I humbly submit to the government, like JAC, your JAC law which you passed, Judicial Appointment Commission. Same thing, even after you enact with your majority this bill into an act, when it goes to the Supreme Court, it will be struck down because it is unconstitutional. Why it is? Why should you attempt such things? Again I say, when the government is for the people and for a section of the people, that too, even Home Minister himself has said many a time, they are protecting us for protecting me for the whole 24 hours. How can I forget them? So, they whole time keep awake and protect you, your life, your security, but you won't do any good for them. Rather, you will deprive them of their genuine rights. Whatever is genuine, their concerns you are not taking into consideration. And moreover, you are again reinserting, re-emphasizing what you were doing earlier by way of an act. The Parliament is not for that. The Parliament is to rectify the earlier defects. When the Supreme Court has pointed out something that this must be addressed to, but you are not doing that, and you are repeating the same, means what is that? So DOPT benefits, it has to be extended. And Supreme Court has very clearly given directions to the government. What are the directions? In May 2025. Number one, amendment must be made in the service and recruitment rules with all consequential benefits being bequeathed within 6 months. Number two, cadre review should be completed within 6 months. Phased reduction in deputation posts up to IG, SAG level should take place within 2 years. Deputation means that is the IPS officers. Again I say, why you are bringing in IPS officers? Don't they have any other work? You say it is for the whole state, for the whole country, for to establish federal structure. Oh, come on. How bothered and concerned you are about federalism, we know very well. Taking away all the rights of the state governments, infringing upon their rights, and enacting laws whichever in the concurrent list. And even in the state list, you interfere, you interrupt and enact laws with your majority here. So we are really, I can just laugh at it, that you are concerned about federalism. Even then it is not addressed. So the federalism reason they are telling is not acceptable. It does nothing. They are under your control. When they seek you for refuge, the Prime Minister gives an assurance, you don't listen to that. One of the most important committees in the Parliament is Estimates Committee. That gives a recommendation, you don't bother about it. They resort to the Supreme Court, it gives a judgment. Instead of taking into consideration and to address the defect, you are going for a review petition. How magnanimous you are towards those people, the CAPF soldiers, CAPF officers. So that review petition is also dismissed, means the Supreme Court is again very strongly insists that what they have said is right, and to phase out the deputation of the IPS officers within 2 years. But it has not been done so, but you are bringing a bill. Very painful it is. Very painful. I say again, those who are waiting outside watching this debate are very much concerned. I again appeal to the government. If you don't want to do anything, kindly accept our amendments at least. We have given some amendments. You incorporate them. We are prepared to accept it. But those amendments, of course, will address the issues, the concerns of the CAPF. Or at least send it to a select committee. That notice also we have given. Why select committee? You can call the stakeholders. Because before the bill came up in the Parliament, have you consulted anyone? You say about federalism. Have the states have been consulted? Have the CAPF have been consulted? Have any other persons who know something about this been consulted? You do everything arbitrarily, unilaterally, and you bring a bill. So we insist, the committees, standing committee or select committee or JPC, are for better scrutiny. Here every party is limited with a limited time. We cannot speak at length. Anyone cannot come and speak. Whereas there, in the committee, anyone can come. So my suggestion here is, either accept the amendments which we are moving here, or send it to a select committee. Yes. There at least we can come to a conclusion. You should have that broad mind. Farm law, we said that kindly send it to select committee. You forcibly sent that, but you were forced by the farmers to withdraw that bill. That was not good for a government. Introducing a bill, making it a law very hastily, not taking into consideration, but then revoking, is it, I don't want to say anything. How can it be, how can it suit a government? So now again I urge, accept our amendments if you are magnanimous. It will address the issues. Or at least send it to your select committee, consult all those, and then bring a bill which you can pass with your majority, which you are always firm. You have never listened to our views. You have never taken into consideration what our suggestions are, whether genuine or right. So, ma'am, I would like to conclude with they are undergoing a lot of stress. That stress makes them to commit suicide. That stress makes them to resign their jobs. Their families are suffering. This has to be the foremost consideration of this government. It is their work is integral to ensure the sovereignty of the nation. As I said at the outset and in the course of my speech, The border, the nation, the parliament, the airports, all are maintained with secured by even the Home Minister, the Prime Minister, and everything. They guard the VIPs.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm concluding. This is the concluding point. When I'm talking with pain, please leave me. I'm concluding. So take it into consideration who they are, what they are doing, and recognize their service and respect them and do what is needful. They will be thankful. We will also be. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good.
Sanjay Singh, 12 minutes.